just really fun to see how far education has come.
So to be able to take this and learn and see how it's grown from Oregon Trail to, however you're using it in your classroom now.
There are like old programs that they used to actually print out and hand out to the attendees. And there were topics like WordPerfect and AOL.
Hello and welcome to the Supercast. I'm your host, Superintendent Anthony Godfrey. They are supporting teachers in doing groundbreaking work, redefining what traditional learning looks like in the classroom. On this episode of the Supercast, we talk with a digital learning specialist and an instructional coach to explore the history of digital learning, how it's impacting students today, and how teachers are seeing big benefits using the technology that is now at their fingertips. We're here at USET in the UEN Homeroom Podcast Studio talking about how USET impacts your practice. And we're talking now with Kelli Cannon. Tell us a little bit about your role in Jordan School District with USET and how being at USET and being involved has impacted your practice.
Okay. My name is Kelli Cannon. I am a digital learning specialist in Jordan School District. And I am also a USET board member. This is my third year on the board. And I love everything about USET. My first USET conference was my first year of teaching, 2014. Feels like a long time ago. When I think about that time, I think we didn't even have really laptops. So we had desktop computers. And so people were just kind of like sitting on the floor with like the first generation iPads trying to learn things and do things. And just how much the conference has grown in the last, 11 years has been just really fun to see. And just the impact that technology has had on education.
So when someone comes to USET, what sorts of things will they learn about in breakouts and keynotes and in talking with vendors?
Okay, so the way we have USET conference sorted out right now is in strands. And in the strands, there are different topics. So there's like a robotics strand, and there's a EdTech Basic strand and an EdTech Advanced strand. And so there's a little something for everybody here. There's also leadership and coaching because we have a lot of instructional and digital coaches as well who want to improve their practice. And then coming into this vendor hall, as I look around, I see a lot of EdTech companies. This year our theme is authentic intelligence. And it's a little, it's a little bit cheeky to AI in a way, and how there's so many AI vendors here and how AI is really like shaping the landscape of education in Utah right now.
Tell us more about what authentic intelligence means. Why that theme?
So when we were sitting around at we plan these conferences a year in advance. So we were sitting around in our meeting in last July, and we said, we know AI is going to be really big. It's not going away. So what can we do to kind of play off that theme? And so we said, let's use AI, but when we say authentic intelligence, we mean how can we use AI or keep the human skills in a technology-driven world. And so we're still looking for like that human input. And so I think that's what keeps teaching like personalized and relevant, is having that human interaction.
And I really think artificial intelligence propels human intelligence instead of replacing it. It's a way to enhance it, to support it, and to build a foundation, kind of clear the easy stuff out of the way so we can get to the real deep thinking.
Yeah,
now,
I agree.
Instruction is really at the heart of this, right? It's technology focused, but it really comes down to teaching and learning.
Yeah, I agree. And something that we really like with AI, and something we've been talking a lot about in our district, is how AI, and particularly school AI, has really personalized learning for each of our students, and how we've been able to use AI as a thought partner and not just, putting students in a space or with a chat bot, but really making sure that they are learning and growing and making it relevant to them. And like you mentioned too, offloading some of those administrative tasks so we can have more time to work with the students, which is what really matters.
Absolutely. If you go back in time to the 2014 Kelli and you compare her with the 2025 Kelli, how has USET changed the way that you look at education and teaching generally?
Well, I remember that year I met my new team. I got hired like a week before school started, right out of college, and they gave me this big, huge stack of worksheets, and they said, "This is our math for the year." And I was like, "Oh,
wow,
okay." Packets, worksheets, books, and I mean, of course, those things have their place, but now I look at just the many opportunities that we have with technology and because of technology to teach in a different way and make it last. And these are what our students now, they spend a lot of time on devices and a lot of time on the internet and technology, and so this is like what they're used to. So students of 10 years ago compared to now are completely different.
So I love how you switched it from you 10 years ago to students 10 years ago.
Sorry.
Which is really the focus. No, you're right, because you have to think about what world are students coming from, what's their day-to-day experience, and how do you tap into that to make sure that education is as effective as it can be.
Agreed.
Tell us about a digital learning specialist for those who don't know. What is your role in the district? What exactly do you do to help support our teachers?
Yeah, so there are about 8 of us, and we have about 10 to 15 different schools that we visit every month, and we try to spend extended time there. We meet with instructional coaches and digital coaches. We hold tech trainings. We also do a lot of professional development in the district office. And we love everything tech related. People are always emailing, just don't call us because we don't use our phones very well. I don't know how to transfer a phone call. Figure that out.
It's an archaic skill. It's an archaic skill, like writing a check. Nobody needs to do that anymore.
What is that?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and so also too, part of my role is I work with computer science, and so I help train our computer science rotation leads, and I get to do STEM and robotics and help them do lessons and train on tools. So it's just a really fun and unique job to have.
As I walked in, I saw the Eras booth. The USET Eras booth with lots of technology over the years. I felt really comfortable standing between the 80s table and the 90s table. That felt really good to me. Tell us about the Eras booth.
Yeah, okay. So about a year ago, Taylor Swift, the Eras, was really popular. So that's kind of what started it, right? Taylor Swift through the Eras. I've always listened to her music since I was a teenager. And so I thought, wouldn't it be fun to go back in time in USET and see what's changed? And so I've learned a lot in the last year. The original USET committee was UCCE, which I can't remember what that stands for. It's like Utah Coalition for Educational Technology, like that. It was formed in 1980 out of Mike Bailey's master's project, which I thought was really interesting to see a master's project grow into something this big. And just going through the history, just seeing like where they started out, just, a few people or maybe a high school auditorium with 100 people to where we are today in 2025 with 1,600 teachers here. And just the amount of vendors and moving even from high schools to Provo, to the Salt Palace, like every year we keep growing. And so we're really excited to just keep incorporating technology. And then as far as like the Eras booth, what we have is since we started in the 1980s, we have a table for each decade. And I've asked people to donate old technologies. So we have old Apple computers and we have floppy disks. In the 80s and 90s, we have a VHS, which I just found out stands for Video Home System.
Yes.
There were some things over there, though, I didn't know what they were. So I had my Google Gemini app open yesterday. I took a picture of it, and I said, Google, tell me what this is and what year it was made. And it's explained it to me.
Using new technology to understand old technology.
Yeah.
That is a thing of beauty.
And then in our 2020 era, we have a face shield that someone used during teaching. Of course, I think this one wasn't used.
That's nice.
But it's just really fun to see how far education has come. There are old programs that they used to actually print out and hand out to the attendees. And there were topics like WordPerfect and AOL and things like that. And then, as we go through, it's changed a bit. Is
there a CD over there for 1,600 free hours of AOL in a particular month?
There is a floppy disk.
Okay,
for
there's
AOL.
a floppy disk. That's great. That it was really cool to look through the eras, and I actually think it's very instructive because as you look, I think we're always looking forward. What's new? What's next? How can we get better? But we have to pause and look back and see our progress and see how far we've actually come. It was really nice to reminisce through the technology and really think about how far we've come. So bravo on all the work that you're doing and
Thanks.
on the Eras tour that I got to take through the USET history.
Thank you so much.
All right. Good luck with your presentation. Thank you. Stay with us when we come back. More on digital learning in Jordan School District.
Never miss an episode of the Supercast by liking and subscribing on your favorite podcasting platform. Find transcripts for this episode and others at supercast.jordandistrict.org.
It's giving busy parents a little more peace of mind when it comes to their students getting to and from school. We're talking about Zonar MyView. It's a mobile app meant to enhance the school bus transportation experience for students and their families. The app allows parents to check on their child's school bus location and the estimated time of arrival at the bus stop each day for pickup and drop-off. If you want to join the thousands of parents already using the app, it's easy. All it takes is a few simple steps. First, download the Zonar MyView app from the App Store or Google Play. Then visit auxiliaryservices.jordandistrict.org/Zonar. That's where you'll find the school access code and directions on how to enter your student's unique ID and learn how to create an alert zone around your child's drop-off and pickup locations. Let the Zonar MyView app help you stay on top of things, knowing when a bus might be running a little late and when to get your kids going or head out to meet them at the bus stop. It's one more way for us to better connect with you.
We're now talking with Megan Dahlgren, who is an instructional coach at Rosamond Elementary. Tell us a little bit about being an instructional coach for those who don't know what that is.
Oh my goodness. So this is actually my first year as an instructional coach.
Perfect.
And I'm super excited about it. So my job is to go in and work with the teachers to help improve their instruction.
And this is now a full-time position. For a while, we had a few hours here, a few hours there that we paid people to work after school. But I'm really proud that we are able as a district to have a full-time instructional coach in every elementary school and to have coaches in every secondary school. Every person in this world needs a coach of some sort to help them get better at what they're doing.
Absolutely.
You know, the old thing is LeBron James has a coach, Tiger Woods has a coach.
Michael Phelps has a coach.
all the greats have a coach.
Absolutely.
Caitlin Clark has a coach. They all have coaches. They all have coaches over the years who have helped them become better. And even when they're at the top of their game, they want to be a little bit better. They want to maintain. And the same is true of teachers.
Absolutely.
Everyone needs that coaching cycle. Everyone needs that support.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about USET. How does USET support you as you support teachers and improve instruction and outcomes for students?
So I first attended USET years ago when I was just a teacher, and I came back from that to my classroom and I said, ooh, I want to try this and this and this. And it was when AI, as I think about it, it was when AI was just getting started in education. There was an adaptive math game and that I put into place, or program, but it was gamified.
Right.
And then also a program that would listen to kids read. And I'm like, oh, that's what Amira is now. So this was like a forerunner to Amira. And I remember taking them back and being like, oh, I want to use these. And I could use one because it was free, and I couldn't use the other because it cost money. But and so now here, I think I have a good grasp on what a lot of the programs are. And so here, for me as an instructional coach, where I'm also a digital coach, but I have like a teacher that I am doing a coaching cycle with right now, and it's for an ML student. And so as I was going through the list of different presentations, those were a couple that really stuck out with me, is how I can use the programs and digital technology to help these MLs. And so I'm excited to learn and be able to take that back to her and say, ooh, what if we try this and this and this? So that's one of my big focuses as I'm here over the next 2 days.
And for those listening, an ML is a multi-language learner.
Yes.
So you're helping a teacher meet the needs of someone who's learning English at the same time that they're learning their native language and learning all of the subjects throughout the day.
Yes, I can't even imagine being in that situation, and so whatever we can do to help. I mean, I spent time last week putting together little flashcards that will help her with vocabulary and things like that, but it's like, oh, what can we use technology-based that could help her as well?
I'm really grateful that you do this work. What you just described is exactly, I think, why it's great to be a teacher in Jordan School District, is because of the level of support. And I love hearing your enthusiasm when you learn about something new, even years ago. Okay, I got to get this, I've got to put this to use, and how can I help this teacher, help this ML student? And I just love that energy that you bring to it.
Can I just say something? To my dad's credit, my dad was an educator, and he got his master's in instructional technology from Utah State University in the 70s. And so I literally have grown up with technology. We had an old Apple IIe. So I've had it in my home literally my whole life. And so to be able to take this and learn and see how it's grown from Oregon Trail to, whatever, however you're using it in your classroom now. So a tribute to my dad, who was instrumental in bringing the internet to a small school in Wyoming.
Tell us your dad's name and where did he teach?
His name is Mike Roberts, and he taught in Bighorn, Wyoming. So a little town. I think each graduating class was between 20 and 30 students. That's a lasting impact. I'm sure many students remember him and the impact he had on them. Yes, it was amazing. And then he was able to take that and bring photography from a dark room to digital photography, and using that for students, and having high school students build websites in the 90s. And so he's my inspiration to loving technology. Well, that passion and that curiosity is carried through in your work now, so I'm sure he's very proud of that. It's a lot of fun. I love it. And I love that even though I'm an instructional coach, I can still be teaching. And so just yesterday I did a little Google tips and tricks with some teachers at my school. Those who came, it was my little tech bite, as I call it, and so I provide treats and come, and so it's still my opportunity to be teaching, even though I'm a coach. I love that. Well, it's such an important role. Thank you very much for doing it. And hey, for everything from Oregon Trail to the things you're teaching, Oregon Trail had its virtues, Yes. Opaque projectors and the like. I'd like to talk to your dad about all that old stuff. Anyway, thanks for everything you're doing now, and like I said, just for the caring and passion that you bring to it. So I love it. Thanks for the opportunity to be here.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Supercast. Remember, education is the most important thing you'll do today. We'll see you out there.